Mike Draco in the house, like bam, right now. He's in. Greg White right behind him. Radar, what's up, buddy? We're coming your way, man. Get ready. Hey, everybody, this is Chris with Cycle Source Magazine, and it's Sunday night. Time for Shop Talk. Getting ready to fire up another 90 to 120 minutes, all the two-wheel bullshit we can fit. Annie's in the house. What's up, Annie? Chad Trainer's here. Dennis Stauber, Big D, checking in from Marengo, Illinois. Jeremy Sather in with us. Good to see all you guys. Going to be a great show tonight. We have the whole, well, not the whole, a bunch of the Shop Talk, our SmokeOut crew. Some of the Shop Talk crew's here too. Obviously, I'm still trying to get into the studio, but we're going live in just 5 minutes. 5 minutes until we go live with this one. That's enough time for you to get a drink, kick back, relax, and get ready for America's first and favorite two-wheel talk and entertainment show, Shop Talk, going live every Sunday night at 9 p.m. on the East Coast. Radar, the door is open to you, Chris. See, that's how this happens. The door is open. All of a sudden, I'm asking you, why are we out of peanut butter? Don't start down that road, Radar. All right, couple minutes, 4.5. We're going live with Shop Talk. Stick around. Ashley Woodford, hey stranger, see everyone at Four Corners since Bonneville was canceled. I know, that's total bullshit. But you can't deny the fact that when it becomes Lake Bonneville, there's no way to run a race. Mike Draco, ice cream. I like ice cream. Dogs and cats living together. Gary Raphael, Sunday night at 9 p.m. Be there or be square. Gary, can't wait to see you at SmokeOut, dude. I'm so excited you're coming up. Tom Banks in the house. Mr. Tom Banks from Competition Distributing, bringing my favorite motorcycle with him. How about that, Mark?
I like motorcycles.
Jinx 13 is coming to Salisbury.
I like ice cream too, by the way.
Right? Steve Royals in the house from Detroit. Good to see you here tonight, Poppy. The Ice Cream Social in Sturgis was awesome. It always is. Big Randy knows how to throw a good time. What do we got? What do we got? Who's here? So if you're wondering, all these people that we're saying hi to, you can also interact with everyone else on the show and with us wherever you're watching from, any of the 15 channels that we broadcast Shop Talk through. All you have to do is put up your questions, comments, and concerns. We'll get to them throughout the show. Mark Hendricks, recovered from bottling bottles and bottles of hooch. That's dope. Wait till you guys see that stuff, man. Rush Journey, hi from Kearney, Nebraska. Ray's Motor Life, I'll be at SmokeOut. I'm in East Tennessee, just a few hours away. Shade Tree, baby. All right, we're just 2 minutes away. Ken Ruples, hello from Wisconsin. What's up, buddy? Hey, do me a favor while we're waiting for this one to get started. Hit the like and share button. Make sure you share this. As Heather says, sharing is caring. Right, Heather?
Sharing is caring.
There you go.
Sharing is caring.
There you go.
Here you go, little buddy.
Son of a biscuit eater.
Just getting in from a huge family camping trip and a hustle home. Family camping.
I haven't done that forever.
Right?
Forever. I like camping.
I like camping if there's a hotel room involved.
That's glamping.
That's what camp is like for us anymore. What a shame. We used to be tough. We used to be tough, Mark.
Oh, I don't remember those days.
Oh, it was just the other day. Then poof, it's all gone.
Oh, man.
Oh boy, countdown is down to 18 seconds. I almost missed this one. Something funny about headphones. All of a sudden, wearing headphones makes me have to pee. All right, let's get this one started. It's time to go live with this week's episode of Shop Talk. Here we go. Okay, scooter tramps and chopper jockeys all across the land. It's just after 9 p.m. on Sunday night. That means it's time for another episode of Shop Talk. I'm your host, Chris Cowan with Cycle Source Magazine, and I'm joined by my cohorts in crime, my Shop Talk crew.
Hey.
You need to get with Brian about that cord. You can make it with your headphones in the bathroom.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I put headphones on, I have to pee. Just started picking that up.
Is that an age thing?
Nah,
Hey, let's not go with the age thing there.
I'm just curious.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Just curious.
So, Logic Cycles, nice shirt. That's right. Big Pines representing. What's up?
It's a motorcycle thing. Isn't that a motorcycle thing?
It is. Whenever you're doing a motorcycle thing, yellow shirt. So, man, I want to stay up for my boys Brian and Dog, but I'm struggling. Dog?
Brandon, what are you, like 85?
Right.
Well, you know.
Isn't he the youngest
my
of the whole group?
78-year-old mama could stay up later than you.
Well,
Suck
you've
it
met
up, Buttercup.
You've met him before, haven't you?
True.
So tonight on the really big show,
Really
we're
big show.
we're talking about SmokeOut. Obviously, we have a whole bunch of the SmokeOut crew coming in with us.
You guys might all want to have a drink with this group. coming
Yeah.
up, let me tell
Right?
you. So
Yep. Gonna be a lot of fun, but there's a ton of other stuff to talk about. We have the High Seas Rally coming up still this year. The Lone Star Rally is coming up. There's Heather's brand new hat that we need to talk about.
Apparently, everybody loves the hat. We'll have to get more of these made. I think I have the last remaining 3, including the one on my head. Maybe I'll auction them off.
we got to get you a smaller one. That thing looks huge.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't it? That's her tiny little head.
You have a little head.
Let's see.
I can't believe you're actually stopping to adjust your
Yeah, of
hat in the
course.
middle of
see
the
if
show.
we can
Why
make it
not?
up.
Oh, Jesus.
Why not? Why not? Hey.
So, Shop Talk for anybody that's just tuning in for the first
Crawled
time.
out from under the rock.
This
I
is
don't love the hat. Thanks, Mom. Love you too.
a little
The
show.
hat is here because I'm a hot mess. It's SmokeOut time and
Oh.
everything. Like, just light a match to the house. Like, it's bad. It's rough here, so.
We have shit stacked up everywhere. That's no joke.
Oh, it's so bad.
Mark, I'm surprised you could get in the driveway.
I climbed over everything.
Right.
Lots going on. Lots going on.
At one point, we actually said, get this damn motorcycle out of the way.
Ah,
Oh,
Well, the
Jason
nice,
Holman, you need a bonsai tree.
Jason Holman, I will stab you.
Now, you got us thrown off of social media last week for that.
Oh,
you want to tell everybody that story?
That's because I typed it. So, Poppy was trying to sell Chris a motorcycle on the show, and I said, I'm gonna punch you in the face to one of my best friends in the entire planet. And I got flagged for hate speech.
Yeah, inappropriate speech.
So I'm not gonna type it. I'm just gonna say
The world is going to hell in a handbasket.
but yet you should see the stuff that comes to our Instagram
oh my
messages.
God. How do you get away
How
with
is that? Yeah, how is that okay? Like straight up porn in the Instagram messages. I'm like, what?
Oh,
I'm afraid to open them. So if I don't answer your IG messages, it's because I'm scared.
right in the neck. So if this is your first time tuning in, like I said earlier, over here, the comment boxes, you can participate in that. Bring up whatever you want to talk about. We'll try to get to it throughout the show. Shop Talk is a little program we do every Sunday through the courtesy of the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio, which the good folks over at Dennis Kirk leave the back door open. We sneak in and run this show every Sunday at 9 p.m. on the East Coast. What is it? A little bit of this and that, tomfoolery, everything we can squeeze into 90 to 120 minutes, and we start the whole thing off with a segment we call the news.
The Shop Talk World Report is brought to you by Law Tigers. Get the compensation you deserve and get back on the road with Law Tigers.
First up in the news tonight, in from Kevin in Black Hills Fox. Tax revenue $1.45 million at 2023 Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. The South Dakota Department of Revenue estimates tax collections from the 23 Sturgis Motorcycle Rally amounted to $1,446,000 and some change. However, revenue from temporary vendors in the Black Hills decreased by 6% compared to 22. The majority of the collections came from state sales tax, which totaled $818,000, down from $902 collected at this time last year. State tourism tax contributed $273,000 to the total, while municipal taxes accounted for $353,000. This is a funny thing to talk about because several times we heard the mayor and city officials coming up with reasons why the count was what it was. Nobody, in case you're not involved in any of this with Sturgis, nobody ever wants to admit that numbers are down in Sturgis. So this year, my favorite line was when the mayor said, well, the weight of garbage was up, but it had rained. It had rained a lot, so the garbage was wet, and there's no real way for us to tell. And we had a counter on the road,
but it was broken.
It was broken for part of the week this year. So,
but don't get us wrong. The mayor of Sturgis is fantastic.
Yes,
He's
he
very
is.
welcoming to motorcycles. He is a motorcycle person, so not bad on him. Just a couple funny statements.
It's funny. It's funny, right?
Yeah.
Funny, haha, or
funny what?
Like
I
quirky.
amuse you?
Like
It's
I'm
like
a clown?
quirky.
Like
Yeah.
I amuse you?
Motoring the Galaxy says we didn't set up this year as a vendor, and
Oh, there's the reason why the taxes were down.
well, I think unfortunately and I say this lightly because I know everybody's there to make a buck. The local greed is making it almost impossible for smaller vendors to set up. Like the vendor rates are so high in some of the spots. It's like $10,000 in some places for a 10x10.
It's crazy.
A lot of like the littler guys can't afford that. Not to mention the expense to get there.
The
and
littler
stay there.
guys, $10,000 for 10 feet of space?
Yeah, right. Like the average house to rent in Sturgis was well over $5,000.
Yeah.
Well over. And some of them, like, I wouldn't even give you $10 to use the bathroom. It was gross. Just saying.
Well, you're kind of preachy. You're kind of preachy tonight, Heather. Is it the hat?
It must be the hat. It could be the hat, the sleep deprivation, the oh crap! It's time for SmokeOut.
Okay, moving on. This comes in from the Bonneville Motorcycle Speed Trials. BMST 23 canceled.
Wah wah.
That's terrible.
Flippers.
Bonneville Motorcycle Speed Trials 23, FIM Land Speed World Records and AMA Land Speed Grand Championship is canceled. Our assessment team has reviewed current Bonneville salt flat conditions since remnants of Hurricane Hillary and related storm systems delivered significant rain on the Bonneville salt flats during the past 24 hours. Although there is wind, it's not drying the area and instead pushing the water around, making multiple small moving lakes to contend with. So canceled for this year, which is a super bummer because while we were out in Sturgis, we got to see that the belly racer trike that Keith Ball and company are putting together, Micah McCloskey, is ready to go, and this was going to be its first running. So
That's a bummer.
Yep.
It's hard because so many people like the Woodfords, they plan all year and they save up for it and they save their vacation time to kind of get derailed like that is a super bummer. I know everybody works really hard for that.
Let me say a couple more hellos. Troy Phillips just come in. Sorry I'm late. Bruno Coppola here. Good to see you. Jason Holman in the house with us. Rob Miller. Good to see all you guys. Troy Wasnick.
Were you asking?
No.
Yeah, that definitely sounded like a question.
Professional monkeys in with us. Hey, you could both kiss my ass.
Just
Lucky I could see or pronounce that. So
Well, you might have to go to the bathroom, so I'll take over. I got it.
you never know, Mark. You never know. This comes in from Ride Apart. Recall: some 23 Indian Challengers and Pursuits may have fuel line issues.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Indian Motorcycle Company filed a safety recall report with the U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration regarding a fuel line issue on certain 23 Challenger and Pursuit models. And importantly, assembled fuel line was supplied to Indian by one of its suppliers and could result in engine stall in the affected bikes. So you might want to check that out. Also, another recall from Triumph Motorcycles. Triumph Motorcycles American Limited recall of certain 22 to 24 Trident and Tiger Sport motorcycles. Electronic control unit will adjust the air fuel ration based on inaccurate data, causing engine stall and increase the risk of a crash.
They'd put less electronics on it, you wouldn't have these issues.
Recalls. Here's a neat thing that we did. If you guys are not familiar with the show that we did that started the whole conversation about independent motorcycle aftermarket network, it is going stronger. So our second meeting carried off in Sturgis. You can join the conversation by looking for the Independent Motorcycle Aftermarket Network on Facebook. There's also a corresponding Instagram page now, and more information is going to be coming up as Bob K, myself, Mr. Ball will all be speaking at the MRF Meeting of the Minds here in a short couple of weeks. And the point of this is to get people together on the idea of the brick and mortar stores, the people that are doing business in the motorcycle aftermarket, and the challenges they face today. So great organization, lots to talk about there, and lots
Learn
to
your
figure
rights.
out. Yeah.
Learn your rights.
because they want to take them away.
And the responsibilities that go with it.
Yep.
Yes.
So lots of SmokeOut talk. Let's what do you guys think? You ready to bring in the crew?
Oh, I don't know. I have to run out to my truck real quick.
Who are we starting with?
Everybody with a
All
hat
of them.
tonight.
Just throw them all in.
Yeah, we're gonna throw them all in at once.
And then just let them go.
Oh,
Just Hanging Out
my
in the
God.
Shop is brought to you by Spectral Oils. Made in the USA since 1966, the best oil on planet Earth.
Okay, fellas, we're live on Shop Talk.
And you're off.
Well, don't everybody talk at once.
Just like that.
Glad to be here.
Right on.
I was home all night. That's all I want anybody to know. Right.
So why don't
How's it
we
going,
intro-
everybody?
Okay, who are you? Tell everybody who you are.
Me?
Yeah,
I'm
you.
Brian Korelic from the lovely Ashtabula, Ohio. Yeah, I've known Chris longer than he probably wants to admit, that's for sure. And Mark, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Big Doug.
Longtime friends.
Top left-hand corner.
That's you, Doug.
Who's it? Oh, Doug Baumgartner, Winwick, Ohio. What'd you say?
He's got his fog machine rolling and he couldn't see the street.
I don't think that's a cigarette he's smoking.
Hey,
I'm just happy. That's my boy right there, and I'm happy there's somebody dumber in this than me. That's for sure.
hey, this is the great part. Ever since you said something, he's been covering up his tattoo.
Yeah, right?
You guys are so mean. You're so mean.
Okay, bottom left-hand corner is our old pal Jack Schit.
The man.
What's
Hi,
up,
Jack.
baby? Hey, Heather, let's get some points out. Right, all your topics. The hat looks fantastic. Suddenly, I see yellow as your color. I can't quite put your finger on why.
Hey,
but
just
I'm
for the
seeing yellow
record,
as the
though,
color.
just for the record, Hot Leather started making this hat like 5 or 6 years ago. And every time I got one, somebody would take it from me, or I had to end up giving it to
don't have
somebody.
one.
So
I don't
that's
have
because
one.
I can only keep them for about a half a second.
Yeah, no, I don't mean a yellow one. I mean a one.
Oh, you don't
It
have
just
any
goes.
Cycle Source hats left?
No, nothing. I usually at the end of something, if me, I'll take it off and put it on a veteran's head, or you know what I mean, like the drummer from Moonshine Bandit stole one night. Like it's just that people just love just the Source and the hats from when we did Sturgis Live. That never made it home.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I'll have
You
to
make
have
nice
some more
hats.
made.
Yeah,
you know
maybe.
he's giving them to the homeless. Don't lie. He's lying. He's giving them to the homeless.
Almost my ass. I'm auctioning them off and keeping the money.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Right.
and our bottom right hand corner square, we got to talk about this man here, possibly the most incredible bike builder
Holy shit.
in the year of 2023.
Right?
Killing it,
Whoa.
killing it all over the country with his
Yes, he is.
motorcycles.
Amen to that.
Mis-
Yeah,
Thanks so much, everybody. I'm Dozer from the Shade Tree Racing family. Glad to be a part of the SmokeOut. Kind of grew up there, like a lot of people did. So really proud to be a part of it.
So
Absolutely.
now you said you kind of grew up with SmokeOut. Is it your son that's the drummer?
Yes.
So now you have
Yeah.
now your son is part of SmokeOut with you. How cool is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. Yeah. So he's been at several, but yeah. So this one he's actually playing on Saturday afternoon. So that's a really big deal for us, of course.
Yeah, that's a good deal right there.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
A family event. Roadside
Yeah.
brings his dad for the titty show. You bring your son to make the noise. That's a family event.
Yeah, Roadside's just short a clothesline and everybody out of his dad's way.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, that was the greatest shit last year. Sir,
Oh,
sir, I'm not going to ask you one more time. Get out of the way so my daddy can see the titties.
You stupid asshole.
Sit on the side of the stage.
Oh, God almighty.
Oh, my
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
he-
God.
For sure.
So quite a few of us, man, kind of we were in and around the SmokeOut from the very beginning. Brian, you and I have pictures of us when we were young men with
Oh, yeah.
no gray in our hair at all.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'll tell you what, man. That was one of them deals back in the day. I mean, that was kind of the height of the whole build-off thing, and it's really amazing to me to see this all come back around. And obviously, you're a big part of that. And it just, when you sit and think about how that thing started and the origination of that and why it originated, and it's just amazing to see what it became, and it's amazing to see where it actually took a lot of people and actually what it caused a lot of guys. I guess it would be kids. I mean, yeah, like you say, we were all kids back then. It's amazing to see the process that it created with kids wanting to build motorcycles and getting involved in this culture. And it just, I would love so much to see that come around again, because I'll tell you what,
Right.
you watch how kids talk nowadays and how they communicate and stuff like that. And it's just, it's face down in a phone and it's nothing. I mean, you saw stuff like that and you went to an event like this, for me anyhow, and you just wanted to build shit. I mean, you wanted to go home and just start sawing shit up and build stuff. And you wanted to be that guy that was there the following year with something to just display and have right along with everybody else, and it's so neat to see a progression of that come around again, so hopefully, with a little help and, people involved and, the people that it meant something to, and all of us getting together and trying to make this happen again, it'd be really cool to get some of these kids kind of like geared up to want to like put their shit down and put their devices down and, go grab a hammer, go grab a saw. Man, you ain't even got to be right about how you're doing it, man. Just do it.
Just do it.
I mean, me and Doug,
Yeah.
we still do it and we ain't doing it right. That's for sure.
I mean, it wasn't a Harley thing, right, man? It wasn't about kids that
No.
I can't afford a Harley. These kids were coming with chopped E's and
Yes.
excesses, and of course the Hondas just
Yep.
literally put together from under a tarp in their
Right.
backyard,
Right.
And that, I think, was the heart of SmokeOut. Like, it wasn't that they were junk. They're sculptures. That's that artist's interpretation of that first step. And you know what I mean? And they did this in a time when the occasional guy would still kick over a jet bike in a parking lot outside a
Right.
bar.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, like you say, like Jack says, it's all they had. So it's what they did, man. I mean,
Yeah.
or they were just, or even, just it didn't even have to be something really nice, or like he says, it didn't have to be anything, you know. I mean, it was just, I mean, even the kids on mini bikes. Me and Doug have a kid back in town here now, and you know, as much as we want to slap him around every now and then because his head gets a little big every now and then, he was a little boy, man. I mean, and he was sawing up mini bikes. I mean, that's what he did. I mean, he just, because that's what he had, you know. I mean, and he was sawing up mini bikes. And you know, Jesse Serpan, I'm sure people have heard that name, Raw Iron Choppers. I mean, I'll give him a hit here. I mean, he built some really cool shit. I mean, he actually built a frame for Doug for his last custom bike, and you know, you got kids like that were just inspired to do that kind of stuff, and it took them somewhere. You know what I mean? And it's just, you know, you'd like to see that happen again. I mean, in my eyes, speaking personally, you know, an event like this, and you know, wanting to get involved and just seeing what it can possibly produce, and even if it's one or two guys that you get out there, or somebody that wants to drag their stuff and show their wares, and you know, and maybe get a nod from guys. I mean, we were all looking to get nods from the guys that we were seeing on TV, you know, and then I was fortunate enough to become one of those guys on the TV, you know. I mean, and it's just amazing to see that, you know, and you hope that you can actually be a part of that and stand back and as Chris said, you know, with more gray hair, maybe watch these kids, man, turn loose and run with it, you know.
Hey, how about that kid that came last year?
I was just going to say
that too. I can't even remember what the bike was.
Wasn't it Seattle, or it was somewhere way the hell out there?
Washington.
Washington.
Oh,
Okay.
He's out here. He moved out here. He shows up everywhere now.
Yeah.
Oh, good on him.
John
Rule.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rule. Yeah.
I mean, good. I mean, hey man, I'll tell you what, that little boy was my hero last year, man, because he was out there. Not only did he ride his junk, and that's exact. I mean, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but I mean, not only did he ride his shit all the way there, but he actually beat the dog shit out of that thing all week, man. I mean, whatever it was that we were doing, he was doing it.
The bike he left Washington on wasn't the bike he arrived in North Carolina.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Down tube was cut out and changed.
Yeah.
Went through like 8 or 9 gallons of oil on the way here. And I said, "You're tired of the court." She goes, "No, man. Gallons."
I mean,
we actually ended up riding it to Kentucky.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was
I've
cool
got
to
some pretty
see
good
that too.
pictures. I got some pretty good pictures of him out behind the shop, you know, with a torch and stuff, probably 4 or 5 days after the SmokeOut was over.
Here's
we were fixing stuff and welding shit back together, you know.
Yeah,
so
right on.
Cool.
Here's a
So
question.
he hung out with us for a few days.
Here's a question for you. Since all of us have been, you know, SmokeOut's been a huge part of our, you know, history and growing into this, like you said, Brian. I mean, while you guys are there this year, thank these guys, because these are the guys that are helping make this happen. What's it mean to you to actually be a part of keeping this tradition going? I mean, this has to, I know for me and Chris and, you know, Heather being a part of this, I don't know, Heather, you were never out of SmokeOut before this, right?
Nope.
So, I mean, now look at it. She's, you know, part of making it happen. What's it mean to keep it going? You know, we heard Brian say it's nice to have these kids come and check this shit out, maybe do something cool, but somewhere along the line, it got to make you feel good to be a part of this.
Well, yeah. I mean, I agree. If I can interject there, one thing that I just want to say is the cool thing. I mean, Doug and I probably talk at least 2 or 3, 4 times a week, at least. I mean, he's my ride or die, man. I mean, we've been doing this forever, and it was cool. He and I texting back and forth about helping out with this thing. And one of the things that he said in his text is that he was more excited to go to this thing than he was to go to Sturgis. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's
baby.
Yeah, that's
you know?
cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What I say, Chris, right? What I say.
Yeah.
People are talking, baby.
Yeah.
This is all I hear.
Well, I really hope that Doug brings those white shoes and that white hat to freaking SmokeOut. That's all I have
to say. Hey,
Marky, I had them dudes on this evening, man, and I knew they'd be 10 shades of brown. I had them on. It's only the second time I wore them. I told my wife, I said, I'm going to ride these dudes to the SmokeOut. They'll be 10 shades of brown by the time I get out of the pickup truck, man.
So,
blew the ass out of my shorts last year, man. I mean, you know, was eating a dirt sandwich. I mean, oh yeah, man. Good
dude,
times.
you two down there, them dirt drags take a freaking beating, man.
Oh my God!
All right, I love it.
God.
I absolutely love that, man. I love it.
It was crazy, man.
For nothing, man.
Yeah, good.
Based on if I had to
I can
judge
taste the dirt now.
based on how little I actually saw go on at SmokeOut last year, I don't know that I can actually say I've been to a SmokeOut yet. I'm just saying. Like, I've seen the videos, I saw what happened, but like I didn't actually get to experience because it was just so busy. So I'm still not counting it as I've been to a SmokeOut.
Oh, we should be specific for a minute here too, just so you guys understand why everybody's on the screen. So the top two gentlemen, Brian and Doug, both run the dirt drags. Jack Schit in the bottom left-hand corner is our MC of the event, and Dozer, like when we first announced that we were bringing SmokeOut back, he was the first person to call us and was like, "Hey, me and the guys from Shade Tree, anything you guys need." So
they
help
do
out.
everything.
Yeah, they help out with so much, and like
absolutely,
dude, he brought the whole holler with him.
Oh yeah, the whole family's there, right? You know. So yeah, we had
63 people.
We had 2 Shade Trees that were at the very first SmokeOut. You know, so that's 42 people or something. You know, SmokeOut 1, right? And then so you know our group just kind of grew and grew, and so the Shade Tree Racing, you know, family. SmokeOut 2, SmokeOut 3. You know, I remember SmokeOut 3, like meeting Jeff Cochran, and it was like his first build. And wow, holy shit, look at this bike, man!
Yeah.
This thing it's just tight, you know. And I mean, it just kind of blew me away. And you know, Paul Cox and a lot of people were bringing just some super badass motorcycles, and then you know, you just think you see their styles evolve and all that kind of thing, and that's kind of what's exciting, right? So you got a whole new crop of people now, especially I think, you know, bringing it back to Salisbury is really a great move. And I think, you know, with a lot of people that we met there last year, a lot of younger people that were there, I think there was a lot of locals there, you know, and people were really, a lot of them were getting their first taste of a SmokeOut, you know, and I thought that was really cool. And kind of like going what you were saying a minute ago, getting more excited about SmokeOut than Sturgis. To me,
Yeah, man.
you know, Sturgis is like it's all things motorcycle, right? But the SmokeOut is more, you know, it's custom motorcycles, it's choppers, it's a little bit more of a, you know, like-minded folks all getting together and just bringing out their badass motorcycles, you know. And that's what I loved about it for all those years, and it's back. You know, I couldn't be more stoked. So that's kind of why we all wanted to step in and help out any way we could, and you know, glad to be a part of it. So
great, absolutely. And like Dozer just said it, man, he just touched on it again. You know, watching guys like Paul Cox and all them guys, you know, that's what I'd love to see happen again. I mean, who could possibly be the next up and coming guy that just is building such cool stuff that you just want to keep seeing what they produce. Well,
and listen, I got to tell you, like some of those guys are at SmokeOut. Yeah. You know, like you look at guys like Daniel Heeman that was there last year. This year he's back, and Brock Bridges is on property, and Sean Jackson. Like that's this generation's version of those guys, man. And they're there.
Keep in mind the old dudes like Dozer said, Jeff Cochran, Paul Cox, Bill Dodge. They're still bringing crazy badass stuff. Oh, yeah. Like these cool dudes have not missed a beat, you know.
Yeah.
So for the young guys to compete with them is, you know, so awesome. And it's really cool to watch some of these young dudes show up because their bikes technically are so overwhelming compared to some of the older builders. Super cool to see that change.
Yeah, well, you got them guys too that are they're throwing an element of new technology, you know, turbocharge and stuff, and putting little mini turbochargers on stuff. It's like, you know, you look at guys doing stuff like that and you're like, all right. I mean, that's, you know, they're you know, thinking way outside the box more than I would, obviously. Right. You know, I mean, it's just neat to see some of these guys incorporate some of this, call it what you will, newer technology into something that looks a little unique, or even, you know, throw an old school touch at it. And it's really cool to just stand there and study and, you know, kind of get in their minds and ask them questions. And, you know, and this is, you know, they're so like willing to like talk about what they did too, you know, and that's exciting for them, you know what I mean? So to give an opportunity and a platform to where you can, you know, meld some of these guys, you know, with some of these guys that have been doing this forever, you know, I mean, and it's really fun to watch that, you know, so hopefully that's a continuation. And again, for, you know, for Chris and, you know, and Heather and Mark for you guys to step up and decide, you know, hey, we need to try to, you know, we need to bring this back, or we need to not forget about this, or we need to understand. help these kids understand, this was our outlet. I mean, we didn't have social media as much, so I mean, you had to go to things like this to get in with these guys and to see these guys and to get ideas and to produce and to show and to just, the inner workings of it and stuff like that. That's what I love about this, I mean, that's what I love about being in the club that we are. I mean, you get a group of guys that just are so creative, and we got young kids in even our club now that are just, making such neat stuff that you just want to stand back and be like, yeah, do it again, man. Do it again, man. I want to see it, I mean, because it's really neat to see a different outlook on stuff like that, so
I was the kid that built that 9-inch wide bike, cut the transmission in half, shaved the gears, and the whole damn bike was
CT Newman.
Yeah, that's it. Motor, the open heads.
CT
I've
Newman.
never seen anything like that in my life. You know what I mean? So here we are, the old guys that are jaded by like, what more can you do with a motorcycle?
Right.
And this kid comes in, he's like the next Elon Musk or some shit, because I didn't even grasp it. By the time we moved that bike into the show, my hands were so soaked with sweat. All I could picture was the one. And it didn't weigh like 80 pounds. Like, you could have picked it up and put it up there. But like, so there's hope for the future if kids can do that shit now.
Well,
you know what I mean?
You actually took something that I've been saying for years that's been an issue for me in motorcycling. The pallet's so small that so much has already been done. And like you just said, Jack, some of these young kids are coming in, they're putting airplane parts on it. They're putting slicing bikes in half. And like, that's starting to change my outlook on that. Like I'd said, that small pallet now is being extended, which is super cool to see.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Amazing. And now, like, shit that you could dream up, but with the tools we had and doing shit by hand, you might not have never got that idea just right to fruition to make it roll down and mesh with you. But these kids now, with the advances they have with the fucking technology, like they got that next step. Now you put in your machine, leave the room, come back 2 days later, and there it is. You know. So like, I think the sky's the limit with what they can do now.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I told you I needed SmokeOut to rejuvenate me because I was kind of done with the whole damn thing, And it did. It lit my fire again. And I see it in the kids.
Well, I think that's a big thing to talk about here, too. Like, for anybody who doesn't understand it, didn't go through this phenomenon, over 20 years like some of us did, from the culture standpoint, like when we talk about culture, these are where the inroads are built. And, everybody today gets into this conversation about, wanting to reach out in the next generation of all this stuff. Well, this is where that starts. I mean, you can put as many posts up as you want on social media, and it's not the same as sitting around a place like SmokeOut and the conversations that happen there, and that mutual respect for what everybody's doing. There's a common ground that's built there that is responsible for some of the foundation of what we call this culture.
And something else that's really cool about this too is, like, in Sturgis this year, in multiple times, I've actually, we've all actually gotten to hang out with Edge and got to know him so much better, and to get his outlook, like, he thought, thinking that was the end of it. It was never happening again. And just to talk to him about how he feels about what's happening and how cool it is. And then, in all reality, we always knew Edge doing 150 mile an hour wanting to kill everybody because he was running a SmokeOut. And now, like Sturgis this year, I got to spend 2 hours a morning just sitting, drinking coffee, talking, and finding out like what
he's very relaxed. He's very relaxed now. It's amazing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but again, there's a guy that he's back in this both feet, man. I mean, he's 100%, he's all in on this, and it's like, how cool is that? Like you say, to have a guy like that understands what this was and always knew what this was, and was probably, sad that it did drift away or go away or whatever. And now he's back in, and that's, how cool is that? You know what I mean? To have that perspective, and
even to have be able to lean back.
Kudos to Chris and Heather, though.
Most definitely.
The world what the SmokeOut was.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but you know what? We have to stop right there for a second, because as much as I appreciate the fact that people understood what we were trying to do there, this is SmokeOut always was and always will be a community effort.
yeah.
You know, so
Amen.
the minute we
Amen.
started talking about it, like Dozer and the Shade Tree guys reaching out to us, and everybody that signed on immediately, like Paul Cox and Jeff Cocker and Donnie Luce, like everybody started coming on because
The OGs.
they understood it too, you know. So we're honestly, we say this time and time again that we're just caretakers of it, and we truly mean that, because this is our thing, you know, all of us together. This is still that thing.
Yeah, we absolutely couldn't do it with people jumping in and helping out, like, you know, Brother Jeff and Mark and
Oh my God.
and Gus, and if those people hadn't stepped up, and I know I'm missing a bazillion of you, I don't think we could have pulled it off last year. Actually, I know we couldn't pull it off.
Even
Mailman and Cheryl and
Even look this year, like, you know, we have new people coming in, like Pipes and Big Ricky, who are coming in to help groom the track and get the dirt drag track together. And like,
That's a big deal.
Let's not leave Randy out.
Big Randy,
Yeah.
Big Randy,
it
yeah.
continues to be that community effort, though.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, like you say, Rick, I mean, Pipes, I mean, there was zero hesitation. And, you know, and speaking for myself, and I'll speak for Doug as well, you know, I mean, 20 years ago or however long ago, you know, I mean, you know, maybe in life you're not in a position to maybe offer as much as you can. And, you know, but for me and, you know, and for him, you know, I mean, I got a great teammate here sitting next to me, and, you know, I got my girl, you know, we talk about this, and, you know, Chris and Heather and Mark deciding that, hey, we got to go in and do this, you know, and for me, speaking personally for myself, knowing what it was and knowing what it did for us and knowing where I was, you know, in the motorcycle industry, and, you know, how important that was to me coming up, and the opportunities that it did give me and offer me, you know, for my girl to say, hey, you know, whatever it takes, you guys need you need to be down there helping then these guys do that. You know what I mean? And for people to understand that, hey, you know, we're down here because of what it is, and how important this culture is to each and every one of us that are on the screen right now, you know, and to understand that, you know, it's to sound cliche, I mean, you know, not that it's, you know, some of us here, you know, aren't as important as others maybe, but I mean, to be able to just have a part of that and maybe pass the gauntlet off to somebody and say, hey man, just so you understand, this is what it is. You know, I mean, this is an important part of this, and to be able to know that can be involved in that and help out and maybe be, you know, the person that helped to keep this thing going. You know, I mean,
it's contagious. I got to tell you something funny. So Dennis Kirk, which is the sponsor of this show and the presenting sponsor of SmokeOut, you would think that, like, okay, well, Dennis Kirk is this great big company, and it is a global leader in parts distribution, but Tammy Becklin, the vice president of Dennis Kirk, her husband Paul is literally flying in a week ahead of time, and he's going to be helping us. He's living on property with us.
Do you know how
to
weird
build
it is?
to build shit at SmokeOut.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And we're like,
yeah, that's cool.
and we were really hesitant to answer him because we're like, we can't ask you to do this. He's like, no, I want to.
He said, I want to come down and help.
And here's the deal. So Saturday, next Saturday is his 60th birthday. He's like, I'm going to wait until the afternoon to leave because, you know, I have to do the birthday thing. But then I'm coming. And I'm just like, it's so incredibly humbling to have people step up, even right down to the artists. Like Professional Monkey just asked about Tankful, and I am going to jump in a little bit because he asked. Every single one of the artists this year, every single one of them volunteered. I did not have to ask anybody, will you do a tank for me? Will you do this? They have all donated their time and talent to help support this project. And yes, the money does go to Meals on Wheels, but the fact that they all volunteered and wanted to be part of it was so incredible.
And they're all so cool. I mean, everyone we've seen so far, totally badass.
You know?
So this is on the SmokeOut website, the Tankful, all about Tankful, to let you guys know what it is. Obviously, in the name and honor of Ed Kerr, whose chief charity is Meals on Wheels. That's where all the money is going from this. But we're just starting. Heather has just got the first handful of tanks
I'm going to
out.
throw you a link to the actual. Oh, did I? That is the actual Tankful site. Yep. So the auction is not live. We are going to wait until they are all together in the gallery. The ones that you see here are the ones that I actually physically have so far. I'm expecting
Jesus.
a bunch more today.
Yeah, look, really, really cool
Wow.
stuff. Everybody took a different
the
approach.
The one he just showed has actually been converted into a bank. So you can either hang it on your wall as art or you can use it as a bank. They welded a back onto it.
Let's see the slot there in the gas can.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
You know, this is Ashley Alexander. And again, all of these people reached out to me and said, hey, we want to help. We want to do this. And it's just so humbling that they all want to be part of this community in one way or another.
We have to talk about this one for a minute
Yeah.
because this is Heather's sister, Michelle. A lot of you guys got to meet Michelle.
Who has no artistic abilities, just to let you know.
Right.
That's what she says.
Yeah.
And this is not I have to change out the pictures because I do have a better one. But
I wish I could zoom in to show you guys.
That's not pain, is it? That's
No.
isn't that all
that's
beads
all
or something?
crystals. Let me.
Wow.
I will drop you a link to a better picture. So that's over 50,000 rhinestones that
What?
she took over 500 hours to place one piece at a time.
Jeez.
See how good on her, man. That's cool. You know?
And it's just
Wow.
again, she said when she saw what happened last year, because she was there and she helped. It's definitely a family affair. She's like, I want to do a tank. I'm like, what are you like? No offense, but what are you gonna do? Because I know she doesn't paint. And she says, I have an idea. Just get me a tank. And it was one of the greatest things. And to her credit, she even she loves to ride motorcycles. Usually, if my sister's not working, she's riding her motorcycle. She even commented that I haven't even ridden my motorcycle, so I could do this tank.
Cool.
I think there's
Good
a better
deal.
picture on the link I just sent you, but like I said,
She coming down, Heather?
Oh,
She gonna be
yes.
there?
Oh,
She
yes.
better be there.
Awesome.
Yes, she will
Awesome.
be there. She's
Mom?
handling our. No, unfortunately,
No.
Mom's not gonna make it.
Not this year.
Okay.
Everybody say hi to Mom. We love
Okay.
you, Mom.
Hey, Mama.
So I think that's a little better, but you can see the crystals a little better. But
Yeah, right now you can see them. You can definitely see it in the blue for sure.
and
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen it in person yet, but
Just
from
put
what
your
I
hands-
understand, it's quite impressive in person.
Well, I'm glad.
Oh,
she,
looking
I'm,
forward
glad,
to it.
I'm glad she has no artistic ability.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So
So how many total, Heather?
How many total tanks? We'll have 20.
Yes, ma'am.
I will have 20 this year.
Wow.
you know,
Wow.
yeah, and the great thing about that, we didn't know how this was going to go or anything last year, and to Heather's credit and everybody that stepped up, all the artists, we raised $15,000 for Meals on Wheels, and it was incredible.
That's awesome.
Oh, Jack, my mom said she's going to miss you. She's watching.
Send her my love, please. Well, let me send it to her. Miss you. Love you. You better be taking care of yourself, lady.
Oh, she is. One more thing about Tankful. If you, for some reason, bid on a tank and don't win, please know that there is a general donation button right on that same page. Every penny helps. It's all going to Meals on Wheels. We're not taking any money for administration fees or anything like that.
None of the artists take any money for
No.
any materials
No,
or
we
anything.
cover
It's
everything.
all 100%.
So I'm gonna throw this out there too, Chris, don't hit me. I'm looking to expand this project so we can feed some lunches to kids in school, because it's been brought to my attention that that's a rising issue, is kids going hungry at school, and we don't want that. So
We need to come up with
And
another
for
idea.
a great
then.
many,
Yep.
that's the only balanced meal they get in a day
Oh,
is
yeah.
at the school.
Yep.
right. So, but anyway, so I don't want to steamroll the show with Thankful, but I apologize.
I apologize. That's a good cause.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, man.
100%.
I get excited.
Hey, one of those little kids might be a bike builder someday. Come on,
That's
man.
right.
Make sure they at least got a PB&J in their belly or something.
Yeah,
You know?
that's gonna be a
or
few-
learn how to play with crystals.
That's
Keep your
going to
balance
be a
there.
future expansion. It's not going to happen right away because I have more homework to do on it, but we're going to get bigger and better every year.
Man, but
Yeah.
this is even what Dozer was talking about, to talk about the sense of community. We were speaking on this the other day that, back when I started riding, if you were on two wheels, you were part of a community. It was an unwritten rule. Everybody took care of each other, and we drifted away from that. And you know, when you see Dozer and his guys, especially, like, it shook me whenever he was doing announcements last year when we were doing the bike show stuff. And his guys are like out of the movie 300, you know? They got this, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
He said something and they all go, "Hurrah!" And I was like,
Yeah.
what the hell was that? But it's community, man. That's a family they travel with, and that's no bullshit.
Absolutely.
And I
Is
think
that community or is that a cult, man? I mean, do we need to be scared here or some shit or what?
That's
might be a
like
cult,
this
but I'm not
much.
the leader.
That's the separation right there, about that much.
I don't know. I
He
think
looks like a cult leader.
I've seen Dozer more times this year than I have in the past 5 years. So
Right.
it's
Oh, yeah. We'll see you a lot more.
Yeah, I always like seeing Dozer, man. 'Cause
Oh,
he's
yeah.
always got cool shit with
Yes,
him, man.
he
That's
does.
for sure, man.
Yeah.
Ain't no doubt about that.
Shade Tree,
Yeah,
what?
man.
yeah, right.
Look, they're all typing it now. Shade Tree, what?
There you go.
It's awesome
You know
to,
what?
it's
To
awesome
get back to
bear
what Mark
witness
was
that.
saying, you know, like for the young guys coming in, and this entire group, second, probably only the Heather, I've had the least amount of SmokeOut experiences. You know what I mean? I'd never been to the original location until we did this one. I've been to SmokeOut East and West, but you know, SmokeOut came into my life because of Richie Pan, and look who's our cover boy. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? He
right.
was my oldest, dearest friend on planet Earth. And I only found out about SmokeOut because of Richie. I just wasn't in my circle at the time. You know, I was running a different life at that time. And I just saw the love and the joy and the relationships that he was pulling out of this crazy bunch of lunatics in North Carolina, and the stories of getting thrown out of the hotels. And you know what I mean? It was just, I said, that sounds like this is the kind of thing to go to. You know?
Office chair racing.
Yeah, just stupid shit. Kids being kids, and now we're just 50-year-old kids. We're still the same dumb kids. Give somebody a scooter, give them a mini bike, and someone's going to the emergency room. You know?
Oh, there's
Yeah.
nothing.
Give them gasoline in a match. Gasoline in a match.
Oh God, no.
Exactly.
There is definitely something like the second you give a grown man a mini bike,
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
he is instantly a young boy again. I don't care how
Oh, yeah.
old he is.
Or the Pan family.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right?
That's going to be, and it's what, a family tradition now? They're all coming to do that race?
I think
Oh,
yes,
my
they
God.
are.
Yeah,
They are.
yeah.
It's on their annual schedule.
Yep.
Real quick, AJ Mack from Thunder Rosa. They're one of the bands that are going to be entertaining. They're here watching with us tonight. So
Yeah,
we're looking
baby.
forward to seeing Thunder Rosa next 2 weeks. God,
Yeah.
I almost said next week.
It's coming. It's
Well,
coming
if it's your
fast.
first time, just don't step in front of Roadside's dad. Everything else is good. You go, no other rules at the SmokeOut. Don't be an asshole, and don't block Roadside's dad from seeing boobies.
Yeah,
Hey,
right.
that boy needs to put a shirt on that old man that just says Roadside's dad so that
Everybody
stays the
knows.
fuck out of the way.
Yeah, right.
For sure.
Oh, dude, that
God.
was so funny.
Me and Doug were crying laughing about that, man. He was so
Oh, my
damn
God.
funny. Jesus
Oh, my God.
Christ. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Just like Ed and Sturgis. I'm Ed doing Ed things. We need a shirt for Roadside's Daddy. It says Roadside's Daddy. I'm trying to see the titties.
I could make that happen.
200 feet.
Oh, my Lord.
So-
Have mercy.
I have a question.
Okay.
I want to know what everybody's favorite moment of SmokeOut was.
Oh.
I don't mind.
Go ahead, Jack.
Yeah? All right. So, as you know, Chris, I was at the end of my rope having a nervous breakdown with my entire life. And in that moment, I thought the whole party was over. It was late. The cops went home. And we got to shut the bar down. And I just thought, how could this be SmokeOut? And then all of a sudden, man, there was 6, and then there was 8, and then there was 20, and then there was 50, and then there was 75. And we ended the night after we were told, shut up, with desperately trying to sing Panheads Forever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
With Cindy and the boys and Spacey playing the guitar and literally trying to the song you sing 1,000,000 times, and in that moment nobody up there could remember half the words, and it was a total shit show, and it was my fondest memory of the whole damn thing. It was incredible to me. That was SmokeOut.
Cool. Yeah, right on. I tell you what, one of mine, I got to say last year, I mean, me and my boy here, man, we drove all the way down there, piled out of the truck and figured, all right, well, we'll get set up and everything. Well, then Chris in Chris fashion decides to pull an audible and move the dirt drags to, Friday instead
that
of
was
Saturday.
Mother
So it's
Nature.
It's like, all right, well, I guess we got to try to make this happen. Go down and see the dirt drags. And it wasn't the dirt drags. It was going to be the rock drags if we weren't going to do anything about it. And we just never stopped. But for me, to get that thing all done and the nervousness of, okay, hey, we need to make sure that this is at least okay. I mean, and don't get me wrong. And I've said this to Chris, there has to be an element of chaos that goes on here all the time because that's just what it is. If this thing becomes a safety thing, then it's going to lose. For me, it's going to lose what it is. Yeah. So, we're trying to get everything prepped. We're trying to make everything's working. Guys start lining up, and we're just doing our thing, man. And I look at him, and he looks at me, and we're dirty in hell. But I turned around and I looked up at that hill and watched all those people enjoying what was going on. I'm like, all right, this is the happening right here, man. I mean, and that for me said everything for me. Just people were having such a good time.
Everybody else left the rest of the rally and came to the drags. You said, Ryan. You turn around, look at them stands. They were packed. People standing behind the stands. People that were over in the pit area by the bikes. It was just simply amazing, man. The amount of people that came together for that dirt fest is absolutely awesome.
In between races, right between the bikes going, everybody would turn around and look over at Dallas playing on the main stage, and then wow! And they would turn back this way, and then separation, turn back this way, turn back this way. It's amazing.
It was amazing to me. And there wasn't guys that were just like, oh, let me give this a try. These motherfuckers would run through the gears, turn around, and get right back in line and do it again, man. And this, get up next to and that's what I like about it. It's like, hey, let's go do this. You had guys on mini bikes. Kiefer was out there on his mini bike, and it didn't matter if it had two wheels and a motor. They wanted to make a lap in this thing, And I so want that again for these guys. Just have at it, man. Get after
Big
it.
D. Dennis Stauber just said
there was just there for the drags. Remember, they wanted to stick around. He had to get his boy. The bike was set up for the drags. And his one boy wanted to leave, had to go to work or something. But the cat came basically just for the drags.
Oh, cool.
Big D just said there was a lot of rocks. I can attest to that. I got pelted. If you guys remember, there was a video right after this year where what's his name from Toast? Joey from Toast had that bike set up with the tire that had the grooves.
The cut in the tire.
Dude.
And he launched
short of a paddle tire, man.
Yeah. Dude, he launched, and 50 feet behind him was Dennis Stauber, and the amount of dirt that bike threw on him, it just covered him. If it would have been water, he'd have drowned.
Oh, yeah.
There was a couple. He was one of them, man. When they got lined up, you just immediately, it's like, all right, get the fucking rake, man, because it's going to be a groove that we got to fill after this bitch. And they were just getting after it, it was, I really look forward to that again, is just cutting these guys loose and, and just, hey, man, have at it, man. Get out there and get after it. And it's fun to watch that.
I've had more than one person call and say, can we bring bikes with studded tires? I went, look, just so you know, this is just for fun.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
this is why that's important. This is why that's important. Like when I was young in this shit, dirt drags were like a common thing, especially around Pennsylvania, Ohio, man. Like dirt drags were all the time, and that was part of this that kind of disappeared a little bit, So to see so much excitement for that again was bitching.
Oh yeah, there was a bike club in Ohio here, man, called Sly Fox. And that was a highlight of their party at their clubhouse, man. Was this? They'd get lined up, right in front of their clubhouse and just get after it. Yep. And it was so much fun to watch that, because some guys didn't give a shit. They just, hey, let's see if I can get A to B and not fall down. And that's basically what it was. And if they did it, all right, let's see if I can get a little faster and do it again. And that's what it needs to be. For sure.
I think the dirt drags are great. I was down there behind the start line too, and you're just eating the dirt, right? You got to take a beer, you got to swig it around in your mouth, and spit it out, just to try to get rid of the dust, right?
I brought Dallas up on stage. I could hear the races going, but I hadn't had anything to drink. I ran to the bar. They made me a big old drink. I couldn't drink it on the way down because I was running down the side of that hill so fast, and it was soaking wet. So I get down there, and now, holy shit, look at this bedlam that's happening down here. I put my drink on the generator with the light pole, and the first race goes, and I turn around and get my drink, and it's filled to the top of the not a drip. It was just muck. And I was just like, man.
That's kind of my point. Like, you didn't just, even as a spectator, you didn't just
you're a
go
participant.
and watch some races. You had to earn that.
You
had to work through it, And the rain was the same thing, right? The rain was the same thing. So we got a major bike show going on, gorgeous machines out there, getting rained on. You're rolling them through the mud, and 9-pound Hammer was up there playing, and just really hardcore people. Like, you had to earn the right to stand there and watch that show, and the dirt drags was the same thing. So that's part of it. I just really enjoyed it, and I thought it was cool. I didn't mind getting wet, a little muddy.
The rodeo games, World's Strongest Biker was just amazing. It was so awesome. Really cool.
Well,
the rodeo shit right in front of the stage is how I love to do it. Right there for everybody. Spacey jamming out with that shit going on. It was amazing.
I don't know if I can't wait. I don't know if I could pick one favorite thing about it, like looking up and seeing those people in the crowd after everything that, that morning, me, Chris, and Heather got into that room and we were like, it's going to rain. What are we going to do? So it's like switching everything up. I mean, on the fly. And that's like the cool part. Everybody works together so well. Dude, switching stuff up was fun. The people on the hillside, the people standing out watching the band when it was raining was pretty awesome. But I'm probably going to say, after everything that we did and like put together, and obviously Chris and Heather's nerves are so, not much makes them happy at that point. You know what I mean? It's so tight and so hard to get them to smile. Walking, well, come on, who are you kidding? You were like beside yourself through the whole thing, which is totally understandable. Watching the Tuyans walk in that front door to see Randy's setup, to me, was probably my favorite part. So to see how that transferred from a bingo hall, you guys left at 4:00 in the morning, and what happened overnight, and seeing your faces through the, the banners walking in that front door were finally set up. The thing we had in the middle of the room. Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
There's so many things that happened, challenge wise at so many smokeouts. It's almost like a tradition for some shitty weather or some weather,
I agree with those. I agree with those. I mean, that's part of it.
You talk to your friends and you say, you remember that ride where we rode all day and nothing happened.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody remembers that, right? But you remember that shit when things were tough, right? And you had to kind of earn it. And so I don't know. I just thought that was kind of a cool part of SmokeOut.
I remember SmokeOut. SmokeOut 2 was my first SmokeOut, and I remember a bunch of us, me, Peffer, Duke, Zummy, Mikey Caparelli, like we rode like all day to get there, and riding. We got lost. We went the wrong way. We almost got arrested because Peffer was drinking a beer outside of a convenience store, and the cops came, and I jump up immediately. I'm Mr. Civil Rights, and I'm screaming at the cop about how they're violating his civil rights. And I look over the cop's shoulder, and Zummy's going like this. So I back it down, and the cop leaves and everything. I'm like, hey, Zummy, what the fuck was that? He goes, dude, I have more dope in my saddlebag. But I remember getting there, and like, we won. We were at SmokeOut. We got there, and we're like, let's have a beer. And it was a dry town. We had to ride another half hour to get beer.
So hard to get beer.
That's hysterical.
But that was
look, there's your memory, right? Your SmokeOut memory riding there. I remember hearing George the Painter and Richie Pan talking about when they were going through the Capitol in Washington, the weather was so bad and the street flooding and everything was so bad that they got caught hiding their bikes in one of the monuments. And the Capitol Police came and were like, what are you even thinking? They're like, it was the only spot that was high and sort of dry. And I remember the joy they had telling that story about the Capitol Police coming around the corner and like their heads just got George's bike, of course, is spewing oil all over everything. Viola, and they're in one of the monuments, and they're hiding in the monument. And it was that like the whole city was flooded, and they just kept trying to get higher, and they ended up in one of the monuments. But like, it's that stuff that made me think like, I will never miss another one of these things, you know? And I have, but that's it. Craziest shit I ever heard. So, it's always got smoke out at the end of it.
Yeah, right.
100%. Look forward to it. Cannot wait.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, man. What do we got, about 9 days? Something like that.
There's that guy. Wow. Then you have that guy that tells you how many days you have left.
Yeah.
Chris, I'm gonna text Chris every day now with a countdown, man.
You know, all you got to do is go to the website.
Yeah, right.
Is it time yet? Is it time?
Chris, you should put a cup of coffee counter up, Chris.
Oh my God!
Oh shit!
Listen,
while 3,224.
While we've been on this show, I peed 3 times while I was off air because I'm drinking coffee now. Like literally, the pot is smoking.
Oh, hey, Jack, talking about that.
Sir.
So we're out in Sturgis, right? Me and Chris, and we're staying with them at the house. And me and Chris jump in the van to go get Ed to go get coffee in the morning and shit like that. And I make some joke about, you know, my girl being the general and, you know, our girls keep us straight and whatnot and shit. And so I should say, you know, when you get to see the general naked, I mean, you tend to do what the general tells you to, right? So fast forward, we pile in the truck, man, and I'm looking around at this truck, and it's all right, this motherfucker's been driving this thing, I mean, nonstop. And yeah, you can tell because he's living it.
It
right?
Smells too. And
so
it
we're
smells
standing there. I'm sitting in the seat and I'm watching this asshole. He's just scooping these empty Nicorette gum packs off of this. I don't mean 1 or 2. I'm talking
hundreds.
Dude, there's a garbage bag pile of these motherfuckers on the dash in front of him, right?
Yep.
And he's just scooping them off and he's putting them in a bag, and I'm looking at him. I go, dude, why don't you just start smoking? I go, that's ridiculous. He goes, did we just have a conversation about the naked general? I'm like, oh yeah, you're right.
Dude, I'll tell you a funny story about those Nicorette packs. When we had the shop down the street, you can always tell whenever I was mad at Chris because he'd go to the shop and clean it. So I'd bitch all the time. Me and Heather had this conversation. Those little things are freaking everywhere. So I decided one day to get them all up, and I filled one of his drawers in his toolbox with it. And he was all pissed when he opened the drawer and it was full of little Nicorette packs. Yeah. They're everywhere.
They don't have like a Marlboro Miles kind of program for those packs.
Yeah, right?
Oh my God. I want to save him up and just like, I was thinking about saving him up and filling his side of the bed, but I'm like, he wouldn't care. He'd just sleep on it.
Yeah, he'd just push him. He'd push him on your side. Go to sleep.
Oh, you can insulate. You can insulate your shop with them things. I'm telling you, man. Just stack them up like Legos, and they'll insulate the shop.
When you're broadcasting in the van, he uses it to deaden the sound and just stuff it between the wall panels.
You know, you pack of bastards. I'm trying to do a good thing here and quit smoking.
What you are doing is keeping Nicorette in business.
Rip the strip.
Oh my Lord. Oh,
yeah, wait. Baby.
Yeah.
God, I can't wait.
Chris, is the van fixed?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
The van's fixed.
Good.
We're getting the 7.3 back on Tuesday. Life is good.
Good.
I can't wait.
Before I forget, your mustache growing into that is magnificent on the sides here.
It's doing it on its own. I think Santa Claus is sneaking in the house at night and doing it while I'm sleeping. I don't know what the hell is going on.
It's magical. I love it.
I said I can't wait. Probably my favorite part of the SmokeOut is being in a freaking room with all you asshats at one time.
Yeah.
Probably the best part is to see everybody, and you know, when shit gets tight, we all lean over and help each other, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah. Getting old Jeff Jeff Fording in the mix with this, and we're gonna have some fun.
Yeah, no, I look forward to it. Hopefully, I'll go ahead and say this. I ain't got no wood to knock on, so fuck it. But I'll tell you what, hopefully it goes, you know, it should be a little bit smoother because, you know, we got some stuff down there now and stuff. But yeah, I'm sure there'll be some hiccups that we'll laugh our way through, but it'll be good, man. You know, just make it something for these kids and make it something for these people to just go and have some fun and understand what this is supposed to be. I mean, I look forward to that. It's gonna be cool. So good girl, like you said, man, good group of guys, and it'll be fun.
And I'll tell you one of the biggest things. We talk about, like, when we first talked to Edge about all this, we were like, look, the only way we can do this is to move it back to Salisbury. And he was like, really? Would people dig that? And I'm like, dude, some of the best memories in our lives came from Salisbury. You know what I mean? But nothing could have been better, because the people in that community, starting with Randall and everybody at the fairgrounds, to the local police, to the tourism bureau, the local hotel people, like, everybody there has just been so awesome and like have been totally accommodating for us. They've couldn't do more to make this happen. That's what you hope for doing a motorcycle event, is at least the town will tolerate you. Yeah. But in this case, they're rooting for us.
Yeah.
They really are. It's pretty rad.
No doubt that was the best move.
Yeah, I agree.
I think everybody agrees except that one guy.
And he keeps calling Heather. He's pissed, and he wants us to know about it.
That one guy. I took it upon myself to call.
Wait. This actually happened.
For the uninformed.
This actually happened. I'm gonna turn it back to Heather, but this actually happened last week.
Yeah, close enough. But yeah, I actually got a phone call. He's like, yeah, I just wanted to let you know that, I'm friends with so-and-so, and Rockingham has new owners, and I took the liberty of calling them to see if they would be interested in having SmokeOut back. And, they really would like to have you back. So we can make that happen for you.
Survey said.
What name did he sign on the bottom of his investment check?
Yeah, right.
How much is he putting into this thing?
So and it took me a minute. I'm like, okay, customer service.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, so, sir, with all due respect, that's not going to happen ever. I said, and if we were ever to move from Salisbury, it would not be back to Rockingham.
Oh, Jesus.
On you, girl.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, Salisbury's the place.
You see, hey, Chris, that's the general talking right there, Chris. That's the general talking.
Wait a minute.
She takes her cycle source hat on and puts her customer service hat on.
Hey, this is why I'm not allowed to answer the phone.
No, not for any reason. He is never allowed to answer
Professional
the phone.
Monkey incidentally said, I'm surprised you didn't recognize my voice.
Hey, I've been asking for years for those phone calls just to come to me. So,
yeah, that's not happening. That's not
Last
happening.
calls ever made.
Yeah, right.
Bad idea.
Good deal.
Can you imagine I'm going public on social media? Today, hi, I'm Karen. Today I made a call. I just had some input I'd like to add, and you won't believe this. His name is Mark. I can't pronounce this. He was really, really rude.
Super rude.
He was the rudest ever.
All right, man.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Good deal.
Well, listen,
baby.
all you guys, I appreciate all you guys taking some time with us tonight, and for everything that you're doing for the SmokeOut. Thank you so much.
It's safe to say that everybody on the other side of these screens here appreciates the three of you too. I mean, that's
right on.
That's from the heart for sure, buddy. You know that.
Well,
you guys are everybody here, man, is a big part of what this culture is in my eyes. So let's continue to try to rally together and make this a happening, man, for sure. Absolutely.
Well, let's make sure we don't get a RICO charge out of this. So don't anybody send me an email. Nobody send me an email or a tweet, because I ain't down with that shit.
Yeah, right.
Back.
Right on.
If you believe in signs, well, I'll close on this. Chris, I'm obviously, you see where I'm sitting in the kitchen, right? I look about a half hour ago, I look out the window, and where the front porch is, right? The wall, the little half wall. There's an eagle sitting on the wall. Right?
Oh, is that what you were looking at?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, I couldn't figure out why you were freaking out.
Right? So then I'm like, can't interrupt. This is rude. a second eagle sits on the wall.
Oh, no
right?
shit.
Right? The little half wall, right? It's 12 feet from me, 15 feet. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then I look at, I mean, they're this
huge,
big, right? So I'm like, I can't shout. I can't run the shout to get Diane because then the dog's going to come out and start barking. The show's over. And I look and they start panicking. Diane's mom, the hummingbird, chased the two eagles off. So if you think that what we're going up against could be insurmountable or we're not going to kick the shit out of this thing, man, there's your example. There's your sign right there.
Yeah.
That little hummingbird took on those two eagles and sent them both scattering. Right up, and I'm like,
I was trying to figure out what you were looking at. I saw
Right?
you.
I saw it. I'm like, oh my God, Jack is actually having an acid flashback while we're live on the show. What's the chances of this?
and you know how my front window is, Chris. So there's the breeding pair of the eagles, and they're zipping back and forth across. I'm like, this is insane. Insane. But there's our sign. There it is.
Professional Monkey
We
said
got
he's
this
going to
shit.
sit on your wall in an eagle outfit.
Eagle, not pterodactyl.
A pterodactyl.
Oh, goodness gracious. So,
I can't wait, man.
everybody,
I
if
can't
you
wait to
have
see
not
something
gotten
green.
your SmokeOut tickets yet, they are going to be available for pre-sale up until Friday, September 1st. Then you can buy them at the gate. So don't panic.
So
You can still get in. You're just going to have to get them at the gate.
look at this. Look over here in the comment section, and you see Kevin Teach Bass. See you soon, brother. Kevin is coming back to SmokeOut this year.
Wow.
How about it?
Wow.
Good deal.
Well, because the racing, once he saw the way this track was going to be, I could see some knuckles and flatties losing it.
Hopefully his knee's better because he was having some issues with his knee. He wanted to be 100%. He can come down there and race.
Wait, let me read
We'll
this.
fix it with beer.
Let me read this.
We'll fix it with beer.
Brandy Dozer, my first trip ever. I was riding solo at the SmokeOut 2004. I heard great things about it and couldn't wait to go. It poured rain. It poured rain all the way there, but it dried out and was worth it. Met Indy and Larry. Gave Chopper Dave a ride on my bike. Memories. Right on.
Just so you all know, Brandy is my
a
hero. I want to be
badass.
like Brandy.
Yep.
Just so you know, Brandy,
buddy.
I want to be like you.
Yeah, buddy.
Amazing.
Looking forward to it. And hey, Mark, I'll interject too. If Chris pisses you off and you can't work with him for a minute or two, give Doug or a call. We'll come down and give you.
You might as well just start coming to get him now.
Yeah, right.
Hey, as long as I don't run out of Nicorette, everybody's good.
Yeah, everybody's in good shape, right?
Exactly.
He's not kidding because he'll look
The
at me.
economy is tanking. And
Yeah.
Nicorette is their stock is going up and up and up.
Right.
He's not kidding because he'll look at me and he'll be like, I'm out of gum.
Oh boy.
I'm like, okay,
And you
I'll
can
be
see
back.
you can see the papers in Heather's office swirling around.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Heather, you need to get
Oh
one of the
my
little
God.
things on the wall with the little hammer on it, like in case of emergency, break
Yeah, break
glass.
glass.
Right. Exactly.
Fantastic.
All right, guys.
Fantastic.
Well, listen, let's cut you guys loose. We're gonna be short time here, and we'll see you all in Salisbury, back on the grounds of SmokeOut, man.
It's coming
Yeah,
fast.
baby. Thank you.
See
Can't
you
wait to
guys.
see you all, guys. Thank
Yep.
you
See
so
you guys
much.
in a bit, man.
See you guys.
All righty.
Guys,
Good.
thank
Take
All right,
care.
guys. Thanks. All right, everybody. Hey, you're watching Shop Talk here on the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio Network. Thank you very much for tuning in and letting us occupy your brains tonight with a little bit of good times about SmokeOut. So many good memories. I could do stuff like that for hours. Like
Yeah.
while we're having conversation about all our great.
There's more conversation.
Yeah, in the comment box, like people telling their greatest memories from SmokeOut.
I know.
It's
I
killer.
felt bad. I kind of wasn't participating in the show for a minute because I was watching the comments.
And did you notice how many people tell you some of their favorite moments are their ride to and from SmokeOut
Yep.
on top of that? Because that's hands down some of my favorite stuff.
Yeah, me too. Me too, buddy. So, see you guys. Short amount of time. We're actually gonna cut this one loose because we all have so much to do to get ready for this event.
Right? If anybody is in the Pittsburgh area and has some free time,
Yeah, or anywhere from here to Salisbury, at Salisbury,
Yeah.
Right.
during the event, after the event, and all the way back to
Volunteers
Pittsburgh.
welcome. Volunteers welcome.
Not even kidding. By the way, while we're talking about volunteers, we are opening the consideration box for somebody to help out here at Cycle Source Magazine
Yes.
headquarters. So if you have a little bit of ability with social media, computers, we're looking for somebody to come in to be
Part-time.
a general PA and not pain in the ass. We have plenty of those already.
Yeah.
So for Mark, Heather, and myself, thank you guys again for tuning in with us. We will be absent next week as we'll be on site getting ready for SmokeOut. And we'll be doing tons of live remotes from there. But one thing we are going to try to put up this year is a live webcam. So we'll still let you know more about that as we do. And until then, I guess that's all we got for right now.
That's
Anybody?
Isn't that enough?
I think that's good.
That's
Professional Monkey cannot wait to see you at
I
SmokeOut.
know.
We're going to have real times, boy.
Yeah, hopefully we get a minute to kind of take a little bit more of it in.
Yeah, buddy.
That's my goal.
Oh boy, that's scary.
I just
We
may
have
be
goals.
in your area, 9-2 or 9-3, Nick Hildebrittle. Yep,
Oh.
absolutely.
We'll actually be 9-2, 9-3. We'll already be down there.
Yeah.
So
until next time we get together here on Shop Talk, thanks for tuning in. And when we get back from SmokeOut, same chopper time.
same chopper channel.
Smoke out, Felicia.
That's right. We'd like to thank our sponsors for their continued support, and we hope you pay them a visit when you're in the market for great motorcycle parts, products, and events. S&S Cycle, Makuni American, Baco Parts, The Broken Spoke Saloon, Twisted Tea, The Iron Horse Saloon, High Seas Rally, Twisted Choppers, Twin Power, Drag Specialties, Geico, Law Tigers, Tech Cycle, Fueling Parts, Lone Star Rally, Hijinks Apparel, Progressive Insurance, Spectral Oil, No School Choppers, Motion Pro